Jagmohan Sharma is here with us today for the event. Kindly welcome him with a round of applause. He is being escorted by Captain Himanshu Dhulia. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to the Justice Keshav Chandra Dhulia's second debate and essay competition prize distribution ceremony 2024. We are truly honored to have such an esteemed audience here today to celebrate the achievements of some of the brightest minds in Uttarakhand. It is my privilege to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Jagmohan Sharma, Director IGNFA, FRI Dehradun. Thank you, sir, for honoring us with your presence and for graciously providing us the venue for this event. Sir, I request you to kindly accept a token of appreciation from the Secretary, Karmabhoomi Foundation, Captain Himanshu Dhulia. We are also delighted to welcome some of our esteemed guests to the event today. Mrs. Abha Thapliyal Gandhi, a distinguished editor and legal expert, I request Captain Dhulia to kindly present a bouquet to Ma'am Thapliyal. Dr. Sanjeev Chopra, IAS, former director of Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration. He presided over today's debate competition, lending his expertise and wisdom. I request Captain Dhulia to kindly present a bouquet to Dr. Chopra. Mr. M.C. Gildial, sir, joined the Indian Forest Service in 1965 and retired as PCCF Uttarakhand in August 2000. Sir, please accept a token of appreciation from Captain Dhulia. Mr. D.P. Gairola, sir, joined the UP Judicial Services in the year 1984. He is currently working as officiating chairman of Uttarakhand Electricity Regulatory Commission. Sir, please accept a token of appreciation from Mr. Shailendra, member of Karmabhoomi Foundation. Admiral O.P.S. Rana, a true son of the soil from Gopeshwar, a man behind BrahMos missile. Sir, please accept a token of appreciation from Mr. Shailendra. Lieutenant Commander Negi, a naval veteran who has participated in 1961 Goa Operation, 65 and 71 Indo-Pak Wars. Please accept a small token of appreciation from Mr. Shailendra. We also have amongst us Commander V.C. Barthwal. He is anti-submarine warfare expert and is fondly referred as Bheji by all naval officers. Sir, please accept a token of appreciation from Mr. Rajesh Sharma, member of Karmabhoomi Foundation Trust. I'm sorry I missed one name which I should have announced earlier. My apologies for that, sir. Dr. Lokesh Ohri, a renowned anthropologist and writer. Sir, please accept a token of appreciation from Captain Dhulia. I'm extremely sorry, sir. Colonel Rakesh Kukreti, Shaurya Chakra from the legendary Kukreti family. Please accept a small token of appreciation from Mr. Rajesh, sir. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Deepshika Joshi, HOD Law Faculty from Chanakya Law College, Rudrapur, and Dr. Vivek Goyal, Head of Law School, Graphic Era, University. Thank you for being with us. Last but not the least, I'm happy to welcome all friends and family present here physically and also those who are joining us online today. Thank you all for being with us here today. For those joining us for the first time, I'd like to take a moment to introduce the Karmabhoomi Foundation, Uttarakhand. Founded in Dehradun in February 2023, the Karmabhoomi Foundation is a non-profit trust dedicated to the ideals of Pandit Bhairav Dutt Dhulia ji, a renowned freedom fighter of Uttarakhand and founding editor of Karmabhoomi Saptahik, a weekly publication launched in 1939 from Lansdowne that played a pivotal role during the freedom struggle and beyond. The foundation organizes 2 annual events. The Pandit Bhairav Dutt Dhulia Patrakar Puraskar Samaroh, which honors outstanding journalists. This award ceremony began on 18th May 2023 and continued this year on 19th May 2024 in Lansdowne. And the second one is the debate and essay competition in memory of Justice Keshav Chandra Dhulia, launched in November 2023. Today, we are gathered here to celebrate the conclusion of the second debate and essay competition's prize distribution ceremony held on 13 November 2024. As is our tradition, we shall now commence the ceremony with the lighting of the lamp. May I request our chief guest, Dr. Jagmohan Sharma, and our esteemed guests, Mrs. Abha Thapliyal, Dr. Sanjeev Chopra, Dr. Lokesh Ohri, and Mr. M.C. Gildial, and Mr. D.P. Gairola to kindly come forward for the lighting of the lamp ceremony.
Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada. Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada. Shatru buddhi vinashaya dipajyotir namostute. Dipajyotir namostute. Shubham kurutvam kalyanam आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः. दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापं सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तुते. शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं.
After the lighting of the lamp, I request all our guests to kindly be seated to watch a small video for the glimpses of the second debate and essay competition held on 13 November 2024. It was an absolute delight to see the participation from different parts of Uttarakhand. May I have the video, please?
So without much ado, may I request Honorable President and all the 3 judges and also Dr. Chandola to please join for lighting up the traditional lamp. The first team is Dr. Rajendra Prasad Law College, Ambika Singh. Please.
जो भरा नहीं है भावों से, बहती जिसमें रसधार नहीं, वो हृदय नहीं, वो पत्थर है जिसमें स्वदेश का प्यार नहीं.
ओम सच्चिदानंद रूपाया नमोस्तु परमात्मने. ज्योतिर्मय स्वरूपाय विश्व मांगल्य मूर्तये प्रकृति पंचभूतानि ग्रहलोका स्वरास्तथा दिशा कालस्य सर्वेषां सदा कुर्वन्तु मंगलम रत्नकरात धौतपदम हिमालय क्रीटनीम ब्रह्मराजशतनाट्यम वंदे भारत मातरम.
The iconic Chipko movement, led by brave women of the villages, who embraced themselves to protect the trees from being lodged off, and the Bishnoi community of Rajasthan, who sacrificed themselves to protect the trees from being fell off by the order of local Maharaja.
See, the issue with the argument that it is not people, but law, it is not law, but people on the ground who protect the environment is the nature of the issue itself. The nature of the environmental issues are as such that they affect us on the macro level. And these movements, however effective in spreading awareness, they do not have any tangible, substantial effect on the macro level.
The environment is where we all meet, where we take mutual responsibilities. However, responsibility without accountability is meaningless. And yes, laws provide accountability. They create framework within which public and institutions operate, ensuring that environmental protection is not just a choice but an obligation.
I would request the President to deliver his presidential address. Sir, please.
Thank you so much. Position which can be argued both ways. If a debate cannot be argued both ways, it cannot be a debate. And therefore, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Himanshu Dhulia for having chosen a subject on which both sides could have argued. So, thank you to you, sir. You have all made a mention of some very important Supreme Court cases. I'm very glad that your reading is very extensive, from the MC Mehta case to the Bhopal tragedy, to the case in Kerala. It's all very good. And yet at every point of time, there will be a bureaucracy that will be required. I'm so glad the judgment has come. So I take your relief. But thank you very much. It was a real pleasure. And I must thank Mr. Ohri, Mr. Gildial and Mr. Girola for having produced whatever judgment. And I must say that, you see, on the 16th and 17th, we are having a major literature festival, Valley of Words. In fact, Mr. Girola is here, Mr. Gildial will be there, and Mr. Ohri. Three of them who are present here in the hall, they're there as panel members. So all of you are welcome, and I look forward to meeting you again. But let me again congratulate you for a lovely debate. Thank you.
So इंतजार की घड़ी आ गई है. नतीजे आपके सामने हैं. So number 3 position goes to the UPS University with total marks of 458. Number 2 position, that is the runner-up trophy, goes to Uttarakhand University with total marks of 459. And the winner is, any guesses? Chanakya Law College with 485. There is a small prize for the best speaker, and though the prize is only one, but for academic interest and for the motivation, I'll announce from 3 to 2 to 1. 3 is Bhavya, SRT 236, third best speaker. Second is Swapnil Srivas, Uttarakhand University. And the winner is best speaker Adiba Ansari. I must have the proper vote of thanks. Firstly, I thank Dr. Sanjeev Chopra for visiting us, for agreeing to be the president. Thank you very much, sir. All the 3 judges, Garola Sahab, Shri Mahesh Gildial ji and Dr. Ohri, thank you very much, sir, for everything. It gives us a lot of strength. And I request all the guests to please hold on, have a cup of tea with us. Faculty also kindly wait, ma'am. And students, your snack packages are there. Please collect it. Good day to you. Thank you very much.
So a round of applause for all the participants and guests who made this event a success. May I now request Dr. Jagmohan Sharma, Mrs. Abha Thapliyal, Dr. Sanjeev Chopra, and Dr. Ohri to kindly take their seats on stage. These? Bhai must be having all the. Those who were given bouquets? Yeah. Will you be able to do that? Our first speaker this morning is Mrs. Abha Thapliyal Gandhi, a multifaceted professional with an illustrious career spanning law, publishing, and advocacy for child rights and constitutional law. Mrs. Thapliyal completed most of her schooling abroad and earned her law degree in the UK, but she chose to contribute her talents to India. Early in her career, she practiced law as an advocate at the High Courts of Allahabad and Delhi. However, her keen interest in the intersection of law and society led her to explore a different path. She found her calling in legal publishing, initially contributing to esteemed law journals like the Indian Law Reporter, Delhi Series, and Supreme Court Cases. Later, she joined Oxford University Press as a commissioning editor, where she played a pivotal role in the Law and Social Sciences publishing program. Mrs. Thapliyal also led, including currently, she leads the training program under the POSH Act with the Legal Watch, a Gurgaon-based law firm. She is also the daughter of renowned journalist and playwright Sri Lalit Mohan Thapliyalji, whose contributions to Garhwali literature include timeless works such as Khadula Pata and Ghar Jamai. Ma'am, it is an honor to have you here with us today. May I request you to kindly address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Namaskar, and my distinguished colleagues on the dais. I must start actually by conveying my thanks to the Dhulia family, especially the indefatigable Himanshuji, Captain Dhulia, and the Karmabhoomi Foundation for the opportunity of assessing these, examining these essays. For me, it really was a rare privilege, and of course, a crash refresher course in constitutional law. There are two reasons that I feel especially privileged to be part of this endeavor. One is, first of all, the reason is that it is being held in honor of Shri Keshav Chand Dhulia, somebody I hold in, I have deep respect for and gratitude and affection. As the years have gone by, I have realized more and more that he really was a remarkable person. He was a man of conviction, deep values, and courage, but without pretension or vanity. In relation to my own life, I can say that Dhulia ji was a person who did not hesitate to do the right thing at the right time. To explain this opinion of mine, I did want to tell you a little bit about the beginning of my career in Allahabad. For various reasons, it was decided that I can start work at Allahabad High Court, having completed my education abroad and having little experience of India. Be that as it may be, I came to Allahabad. I am talking about the 1980s. This is more than 40 years ago. And I must say very bluntly that at that time, the profession, the legal profession in Allahabad was plagued by various issues. There was groupism, intrigue, low-grade politics, sexism, and the C word, casteism. For me, it was a word that was new to me, and I frankly didn't understand much. So there I was, a sore thumb, a stranger, and a bit of a curiosity. Nobody took me seriously. Nobody wanted me there. Least of all, the people who were supposed to be my seniors and guides. So anyhow, I started off, tried to take things in my stride, and get on with work and life. But eventually the environment had its impact, and there was very strange, unsavory incidents. And then there was some episodes of actual obvious hostility. So after less than a year, I had had enough. I was asked to leave my senior's chamber. And I thought it's time to go. So I told Dhulia ji, I told him because I knew him socially, we used to meet. And his response just blew me away. I was so surprised. He said, "You will not go. Tu nahi jayegi." To emphasize the issue, tu nahi jayegi. You will work in my chamber. I was taken aback because he was a very affable and friendly guy. He never imposed his views on anybody. But then he explained a few things to me. He said, I need to stay because I must establish that I was serious about work and that I could do it. So I kind of regained my confidence and I changed my mind. And I actually worked with him in his chamber. He was standing counsel and he had some private work as well. He was a busy man. So I studied files, I started appearing in the courts, and I ended up gaining a lot of valuable experience of how the courts worked and how cases are presented. And I began to understand the society around me a little more. So you see what I mean by doing the right thing at the right time. Dhulia ji didn't have to do any of that. I was not his responsibility. Nobody asked him to take care of me. He could have made up so many excuses. He could have simply let me leave town feeling lost and a failure. But that's not the way he was. So without any fuss or grandstanding, he just turned the whole situation around. So my connection to him is the first reason I'm so pleased to be here and associated with this essay competition. The second reason brings me right back to the present, and that is that this event has been a wonderful opportunity for me to meet young people, even though it was through their writing, not personally. After all, these competitors, these writers are the lawyers and leaders of tomorrow, and most importantly, they're citizens of tomorrow. So as the cycle of life keeps turning, inevitably, the older generations step back and go their way, and the younger people shoulder responsibilities and lead the way. So first, I must congratulate all the young people who participated. I think it's a great idea to step up, to explore new ideas, express oneself, and to test one's understanding of the subject one is studying, and do some thinking beyond the syllabus. And of course, engage in healthy competition. The theme chosen by the organizers is really important for anyone who believes in the great experiment that is Indian democracy and really wants it to succeed. Every constitution in the world is founded on certain values. What are they? They are, after all, beliefs, ideals, and aspirations, manyataएं. The values of our constitution show us what kind of life every citizen should be able to have, regardless of our complicated history, our social divisions, and practices of plain injustice. Whatever may be the situation on the ground, and several students have clearly pointed this fact out in the essays. Goals, I do believe, are critical to clear the fog in our minds and help us construct our paths. That is why the preamble is so very important. And what are the key values? Justice, foremost. equality, liberty, fraternity. That despite everything, we can live together in peace and treat people fairly. And this preamble is a direct reflection of the qualities of the leadership of our freedom movement. And what I finally understand about this movement is that it really became powerful when it made it very clear under Gandhiji's leadership that and it reached the hearts and minds of ordinary people, of all areas, of all classes, of all groups, of all linguistic groups. It really began to make sense when that movement made it clear that we are fighting for two fundamental goals. One is, of course, freedom from English, British colonialism. Secondly, and always this was emphasized, is that we have to clean up our own act. We have to look at ourselves critically and change some of the things that need changing. And what are those things? Essentially, the thing is the embedded injustice in every corner of our society. We have a beautiful history. We have a great culture. There's no debate. That is what the preamble is showing us always. For the first time in Indian history, justice, social, economic, and political, came into focus as a goal. As a goal. So, of course, there have been failures. Of course, there is conflict. Of course, there is debate everywhere. But it's there, guiding the way, showing us the way. And let me end this little bit by saying justice and equality are not foreign ideas. They are modern ideas. And our ancient country needs to adapt these ideas. Blinding flash of the obvious, but very often, just as common sense is the least common sense, the obvious solution is sometimes the least obvious. So when you focus, you ask yourself, what are the issues? And what are the most relevant issues? Secondly, the ones who did well, the winners, they thought about what needs to be said first, should be said next, and so on. They made an outline of the critical issues before starting to write. And I noticed that many of the books had notes at the back, which were basically outlines of the issues. Thirdly, they started with a proper introduction. Meaning what? They presented the basics. Their view of the essential idea, the essential point. Their opinion as to what is the most important value in the Constitution. Then they briefly indicated what is meant, what is the meaning of the word value. Words can be treacherous. Words can mislead and words can guide. Then number 4, the candidates developed the idea in a consistent way, developed their views. How? First, they explained their own thinking about, and they explained their own understanding of the relationship between their chosen value and society at large. Then most importantly, references. Defending one's position through the work of scholars of all kinds. So there were examples or illustrations from history. There were quotes or paraphrased sentences of political scientists about how law fits into political systems. Because law is a subject that is relevant for the study of any other subject. It fits into everything. Because without law, we have chaos. Then there were propositions and views of legal scholars, jurisprudence. There was case law, major cases and what they established. Some of the candidates even knew the citations. I was really impressed. And last, but again not least, there were ideas taken from literature. Now this list sounds formidable, it looks scary, but you know, the greatest lawyers all read widely. They know that the law does not exist in a vacuum. It always has a social context. And I'm a bit biased, but Sudhanshu Dhuliaji's library is a pleasure to behold. And his conversation is very often connected to ideas and books, his own and other people's. So lawyers, the best ones, have a natural interest in history and literature. All such knowledge adds significantly to one's understanding of law and legal problems. I found that case law was the source that nearly all candidates were comfortable with. And case law, as we know, all the students here know, is absolutely critical for all common law systems, which is what ours is. And there are just a few more things which, again, obvious, but we need to be reminded at times. Avoiding repetition. Repetition to explain a point is one thing, but repetition to fill pages doesn't help. It never helps. And finally, staying close to the theme of the essay. And in the middle of a time-bound situation, I think all of you will be familiar that with the possibility that you really can get lost. You can get lost because you've written a certain amount, then you have to move on and you have to finalize. So in order to do that, we have to come back full circle to what? The beginning of the task. Understanding what the task is, what the question was, and the outline. It's the outline that will save you. One of my teachers in school, whose words I never forget, used to say, take notes or you're doomed. As simple as that. Thank you very much. Thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experiences with us and being a huge support to the foundation. And I'm sure the students have also taken note of the valuable inputs that ma'am has given for essay writing. Next, we have with us Dr. Lokesh Ohri, who will be addressing the gathering. And in the same breath, I would like to extend my apologies once again, sir, for the slip-up that I made. Dr. Ohri is a renowned anthropologist, cultural historian, and environmental conservationist from Uttarakhand. With a doctorate in anthropology from the University of Heidelberg, Germany, he has authored over 8 books on the Himalayas and published several research papers on Himalayan communities. Dr. Ohri founded Humanities Himalaya, an academic platform dedicated to studying life in the Himalayas, and has produced multiple documentary films on the region. His contributions have been recognized with prestigious awards such as Govind Vallabh Pant Award, the Mahatma Gandhi Prize, and the Outlook Responsible Tourism Award. For nearly 3 decades, Dr. Ohri has been a passionate advocate for slow travel and cultural preservation in the Himalayas. Through his initiative, Been There, Done That, BTDT, he has built a community over 150,000 responsible hikers and walkers, connecting village communities and heritage with sustainable tourism practices. Sir, it is an honor to welcome you, and may I now request you to kindly do the honor of addressing the gathering, please.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And you don't need to apologize for anything because all the people who got the bouquets before me were fairly senior, and we have a lot to learn from each other. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak to this August gathering. हिंदी में बोलूं तो चलेगा? हाँ? क्योंकि हर जगह अंग्रेजी में बोलना पड़ता है, तो हिंदी में बोलेंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि ज़्यादा लोगों तक पहुंच पाएंगे. तो मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में आज बात करने की कोशिश करता हूं. मैम ने मेरा बहुत जेनरस एक बायोडाटा पढ़ा, तो मैं वहीं से बात शुरू करता हूं कि मैं जब हाइडलबर्ग गया पीएचडी करने के लिए, तो जाने से पहले मैंने एक ईमेल लिखा था अपने एडवाइज़र को, जो कि मेरे मतलब वहाँ पे शेफ़ बोलते हैं, बॉस होते हैं, और इंडिया में पीएचडी गाइड बोलते हैं. तो प्रोफेसर विलियम सैक्स थे, बहुत ही सीनियर एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट हैं, पूरी दुनिया में जाने जाते हैं हिमालय पे अपने काम को लेकर. तो उन्होंने कहा कि देखो तुम आ रहे हो हाइडलबर्ग और तुम्हें फेलोशिप मिल गई है, तो जिस दिन तुम पहुंचोगे उसी दिन हमारा एक सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस का मीटिंग है, वहाँ पे आप आ जाइएगा और अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस करिएगा. तो मैं थोड़ा घबराया, क्योंकि विदेश में जाकर पहली बार ऐसे अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस करना वो थोड़ा एक मुश्किल काम था. लेकिन वहाँ पे हम गए, और जिस दिन मैं जर्मनी में पहुँचा उसी दिन सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस की मीटिंग थी, और वहाँ जाकर जब हॉल में गया, ऐसा ही हॉल था, और वहाँ जाके जब हॉल में देखा तो वो सब लोग जिनकी हम टेक्स्ट बुक्स में फ़ोटोज़ देखते थे या जिनकी किताबें पढ़ते थे या जिनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा था, वो सब लोग सामने बैठे थे. और मैंने जाके अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस किया, तो लेकिन एक व्यक्ति उनमें से खड़े हुए और उन्होंने पूछा कि वो तो ठीक है, आप रिसर्च करने आए हो, लेकिन आपका साइंटिफिक क्वेश्चन क्या है? What is the scientific question that you are going to examine? तो तब तक मैंने वो साइंटिफिक क्वेश्चन सोचा नहीं था. मैंने एक बहुत प्रपोजल लिखा था, कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव प्रपोजल लिखा था. खैर मैंने वहाँ कुछ बोल दिया जो मैं करना चाहता था, और लोग खुश हुए, लोगों ने तालियां भी बजाई. पता नहीं खुश हुए कि नहीं, लेकिन ताली तो बजाई. तो आप लोगों के लिए भी, क्योंकि मैंने सारी डिबेट्स सुनी, और जनरली इतना एलैबोरेट जब कोई प्रोग्राम होता है तो मैं मना कर देता हूँ, डिक्लाइन कर देता हूँ सर. लेकिन आपने इतने प्यार से बुलाया तो मैं बैठ के सारी डिबेट्स सुनी, और डॉक्टर संजीव चोपड़ा ने प्रिजाइड ओवर किया. उन्होंने भी सारी डिबेट्स को बहुत ध्यान से सुना. हमारे 2 एमिनेंट जजेस हैं, आप लोगों ने भी सुना. तो जब भी आप किसी बात पे बोलने जाएं तो मुझे लगता है कि उस टॉपिक को, उस साइंटिफिक क्वेश्चन को आप ज़रूर ध्यान में रखिए, और आपका आर्ग्यूमेंट जो है वो उस साइंटिफिक क्वेश्चन के चारों तरफ ही होना चाहिए. उसको साइंटिफिक क्वेश्चन को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए आपको जितने भी आर्ग्यूमेंट्स देने पड़े, जितने भी फैक्ट्स देने पड़े, जितने भी कोट्स देने पड़े, वो आप दीजिए और अपना पॉइंट प्रूव करने की कोशिश कीजिए। तो एनवायरनमेंट एक टॉपिक था जिस पे आपको बोलना था। काफ़ी मुश्किल टॉपिक था क्योंकि दोनों ही आर्ग्यूमेंट्स उसमें पॉसिबल थे। जैसा सर ने भी बोला कि डिबेट वही होती है जिसमें दोनों तरफ से आर्ग्यू किया जा सके। लेकिन आज जो सिचुएशन है, थोड़ा सा अपने पास्ट लाइफ में जाऊंगा, थोड़ा सा आपको बताऊंगा कि जब मैं एक स्कूल स्टूडेंट था, क्लास 11th में था, तो एक स्कॉलरशिप मुझे मिली जिसमें मुझे कुछ समय के लिए मेधा पाटकर जी के साथ रहने का मौका मिला। वो स्कॉलरशिप ऐसी थी कि 1 महीना आप मेधा पाटकर जी के साथ रहिए। और ये वो ज़माना था जब वो सरदार सरोवर डैम को अपोज कर रही थी। और तो हम लोग वहीं पे जाके गुजरात में उनके साथ रहे और हमने देखा कि किस तरह से वो एक मूवमेंट बना, धीरे धीरे करके एक मूवमेंट बना। और मूवमेंट अपने आप में बहुत ही स्ट्रांग था। बहुत सारे विलेजेस जो सबमर्जेंस की तरफ जा रहे थे वो उस डैम को अपोज कर रहे थे। और धीरे धीरे ऐसा हुआ कि उसी दौरान ये केस सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पहुंचा। और सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जब ये केस पहुंचा तो जो बेंच जिसको अलॉट हुआ वो बेंच भी बिल्कुल ग्रीन बेंच थी। उन्होंने बहुत लैंडमार्क जजमेंट्स दिए थे एनवायरनमेंट को लेकर के। लेकिन जब वो केस हियरिंग के लिए पहुंचा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में तो हम लोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट के बाहर ही खड़े थे और वेट कर रहे थे कि क्या जजमेंट आएगा। और लेकिन वो जजमेंट बिल्कुल ही रिवर्स जजमेंट आया अगेंस्ट एक्सपेक्टेशंस। हमें ऐसा लग रहा था कि ये केस जो है वो एनवायरनमेंट प्रो एनवायरनमेंट जजमेंट आएगा, लेकिन ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं हुआ। और बाद में जब हम लोग बैठ के, तब तो मैं बहुत छोटा था, लेकिन जो भी एनालिसिस मैंने सुना, जो भी लोगों से बातचीत करी, उनका यही मत था, उनका यही कहना था कि हम फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स और अपने आर्गुमेंट्स में उस पे कमज़ोर पड़ गए। वहाँ पे हम अपने जो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो आर्गुमेंट था उसमें फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स जो थे वो बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग थे। और शायद उस जजमेंट ने हमारे कंट्री की हिस्ट्री को भी पलट दिया। आई थिंक आवर हिस्ट्री वुड हैव बीन डिफरेंट, very different if the Sardar Sarovar judgment had come in favor of the environmentalists who were actually opposing the dam project. वैसा ही कुछ आज हम उत्तराखंड में भी देखते हैं। उत्तराखंड में हम देखते हैं कि शायद जो मेरा एनालिसिस है जिस पे मैं थोड़ा काम भी कर रहा हूँ आजकल, वो कुछ ऐसा है कि हमने शायद कॉलोनियलिज्म को तो हरा दिया। और मैम ने भी अभी कहा कि हमारा जो एक हमने आज़ादी की लड़ाई लड़ी और उसके बाद कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फोर्स में आया, तो हमने कॉलोनियलिज्म को तो हराया, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं उत्तराखंड में हमेशा से ये फीलिंग रही कि हम लोग अभी भी किसी तरह से कॉलोनाइज्ड हैं। चाहे वो यूपी में बैठे हुए पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैं, चाहे वो दिल्ली में बैठे हुए डिसीजन मेकर्स हैं, वो हमें अभी भी कॉलोनाइज करते हैं। और इसलिए हमको एक अलग स्टेट की तरफ बढ़ना चाहिए। तो वो स्टेटहुड मूवमेंट भी आया। और लेकिन स्टेटहुड के बाद हमने शायद इंटरनल कॉलोनियलिज्म की एक नई परिभाषा ही गढ़ दी कि हमारे जो अपने ही लोग हैं वही हमें कॉलोनाइज करने लग गए। तो सबसे बड़ा दर्द किसी समाज को वही होता है कि when you get colonized by your own people who want to capture all the resources for their own personal benefits. तो ये वही समाज है जिसने चिपको आंदोलन को जन्म दिया। ये वही समाज है जिसने टिहरी डैम के लिए where women stood up and they said that our bodies or the trees, that before you cut the trees you have to attack us. तो ये वही समाज है जहाँ पे लोग अपनी जान देने के लिए तैयार थे, अपने पेड़ों के लिए, अपने जंगलों के लिए। आज वहाँ कोई चू भी नहीं करता कि अगर ऑल वेदर रोड बनती है या कुछ कोई और भी एनवायरनमेंट के ऊपर संकट आता है तो किसी को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। और हम लोग चुपचाप हर चीज़ को एक्सेप्ट करते रहते हैं। तो जब ये चार धाम महामार्ग का केस सुप्रीम कोर्ट में गया, तब भी मैं उस कमेटी में थोड़ा इन्वॉल्व था, जहाँ पर हम लोग ये पूरा जो डॉक्टर रवि चोपड़ा हैं, वो पहले तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट कमेटी में ही थे, और लेकिन बाद में उन्होंने सुप्रीम कोर्ट कमेटी से रिज़ाइन किया, एंड वी वेंट independently to we formed a people's group and went to the Supreme Court against the Char Dham Mahamarg project. हम ये नहीं, कभी भी नहीं कह रहे थे कि चार धाम महामार्ग को नहीं बनना चाहिए, हम सिर्फ उसके एप्रन की विड्थ को लेकर के आर्गुमेंट कर रहे थे। तो वो आर्गुमेंट भी हम हार गए, क्योंकि ये भी एक एनवायरनमेंट बेंच ही थी, एक ग्रीन बेंच थी, जो कि बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा था कि दे वर आस्किंग एब्सोल्युटली द राइट क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द अटॉर्नी जनरल। जो देश के एडवोकेट जनरल थे, उनसे जो सवाल पूछ रहे थे, बहुत ही पॉइंटेड सवाल पूछ रहे थे, बहुत ही ऐसे सवाल पूछ रहे थे जो उनके लिए ऑकवर्ड थे, जिसका वो जवाब नहीं दे पा रहे थे। लेकिन और फिर हमारे पास जो चीफ ऑफ डिफेंस स्टाफ है, उनकी तरफ से भी एक एफिडेविट आया था, जिसमें उन्होंने कहा था कि अगर 18 विड्थ का एप्रन होगा, 18 मीटर्स का एप्रन होगा, तो चार धाम महामार्ग वायबल है इंडियन आर्मी के लिए। लेकिन खैर मैं बहुत फैक्ट्स में नहीं जाऊंगा उस पूरी केस के, लेकिन वहाँ पर भी ये सिचुएशन आई कि हमको वो केस हारना पड़ा, क्योंकि लास्ट डे जब ग्रीन बेंच ने अटॉर्नी जनरल को कहा कि आप कल तक हमें बताइए कि आपको ये 45 मीटर्स का एप्रन क्यों चाहिए, इतनी बड़ी सड़क क्यों चाहिए, तो अगले दिन उन्होंने आके कहा कि हमको ये सड़क इसलिए चाहिए कि हमको ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल लेके जानी है बॉर्डर तक। और उसी दिन जजमेंट आ गया, एंड द केस वाज डिसमिस्ड। So what I'm trying to say is that as budding lawyers, as people who are going to go out in the world, दुनिया में जाके आप केसेस आर्ग्यू करेंगे, आप एनवायरनमेंट के लिए लड़ेंगे, शायद लड़ेंगे मुझे उम्मीद है कि लड़ेंगे तो लड़ेंगे। तो आज की जो एज है, ये पोस्ट ट्रूथ की एज है। आज की ऐसी एज है, हम एक ऐसी दुनिया में जी रहे हैं जहाँ पे जो सच है उसको मैन्युफैक्चर किया जा सकता है, उसको किसी तरह से एक पब्लिक परसेप्शन को बनाया जा सकता है बहुत इजीली बाय यूजिंग आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बाय यूजिंग द मॉडर्न means of media. In fact, we are living in an age where consent can also be manufactured. कि सब लोग किस चीज़ को हाँ बोलेंगे, वो उसको भी एक आर्टिफिशियली हम क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, लोगों के दिमाग में घुसा जा सकता है। तो उस पोस्ट ट्रूथ एज में उस लड़ने के लिए आपको फैक्चुअल प्रेजेंटेशंस देने के लिए, आपको ट्रूथ को अपहोल्ड करने के लिए, क्योंकि जैसा मेरे पीएचडी सुपरवाइजर ने बताया था मेरे को, पहले तो उन्होंने कहा कि जाओ अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस कर दो, सब लोग तुमको वेलकम करेंगे। लेकिन बाद में उन्होंने मुझे बताया, जब उस इवेंट के बाद जब मैंने उसी समय सोच करके अपना साइंटिफिक क्वेश्चन बताया, तो उन्होंने कहा कि देखो ये यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ हाइडेलबर्ग है, हम ऐसे किसी को पीएचडी अवार्ड नहीं करते, पीएचडी उसी को अवार्ड करते हैं समवन हु कैन मेक अ कंट्रीब्यूशन टू द साइंटिफिक नॉलेज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। तो तब मेरे को थोड़ी सी ये समझ में आई कि ये बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है, कि ये बहुत बड़ा काम है, कि मैं सिर्फ ऐसे नहीं कि मैं किसी कम्युनिटी या किसी जगह के बारे में लिखने आया हूँ। अगर मैं जो साइंटिफिक नॉलेज है उसमें कुछ ऐड नहीं करूँगा, वर्ल्ड की साइंटिफिक नॉलेज है, बहुत बड़ा बर्डन है, तो तब तक मुझको पीएचडी अवार्ड नहीं होगी। और ये आप सब लोगों का भी बर्डन है कि दैट इफ यू वांट टू अपहोल्ड द ट्रूथ, यू हैव टू फाइट इट आउट, यू हैव टू आल्सो फाइट इट आउट इन द पोस्ट ट्रूथ एज, इन द एज ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस। और आपको उस पूरे मेज में से नेविगेट करना है, अपने फैक्ट्स को निकालना है, अपने आर्ग्यूमेंट्स को इतना स्ट्रांग बनाना है। सबसे पहले तो खुद कन्विंस होना है कि हम ये जो केस लड़ रहे हैं, क्या ये ट्रूथफुल है कि नहीं है, क्या हम ट्रूथ को अपहोल्ड करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और अगर कर रहे हैं तो देयर इज़ नो रूम फॉर लूजिंग, देयर इज़ नो रूम फॉर गोइंग बैक। तो कई तरह से ये जो पोस्ट ट्रुथ है इसको बना लिया जाता है, लॉयर्स के ऊपर, एक्टिविस्ट के ऊपर, जर्नलिस्ट के ऊपर कई तरह के प्रेशर्स होते हैं। डेमोक्रेसी है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, हमारे लॉ कोर्ट्स हैं, लेकिन चैलेंजेस बहुत बढ़ते जा रहे हैं सब लोगों के लिए। और I think the youth of today are up to the challenges. They will face the challenges and they will create a better world for us. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सर। सर ने एक फ्रेज यूज करा, एनवायरनमेंट को बचाने के लिए शायद लड़ेंगे। इट्स अ वेकअप कॉल फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस, और अगर वी शुड सपोर्ट, एटलीस्ट टुडे वी शुड टेक दैट प्लेज दैट you know everyone who's fighting to save the environment, we must support wholeheartedly. Thank you so much, sir. Our next speaker today is a distinguished individual with many accolades to his name, Dr. Sanjeev Chopra. I'm just deviating a little from the script. Dr. Chopra climbed up the stage, came to me, and said, "You're doing a good job." There was no need, but it speaks volumes about that person. It's not easy to appreciate. Dr. Chopra, an IS officer from the 1985 batch, hails from Dehradun, Uttarakhand. He is the former director of the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration and the author of the acclaimed book, We, the People of the States of Bharat, The Making and Remaking of India's Internal Boundaries, published in 2022. A prolific writer, book reviewer, and recipient of various fellowships, a man surrounded by books. He is also the patron and honorary consultant of the Valley of Words International Literary Festival held annually in Dehradun. In addition to his administrative expertise, Dr. Chopra is a prolific contributor to the print.in and a passionate advocate for intellectual engagement. Sir, we are privileged to have you with us. May I request you to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much for your kind words. The director of IGNFA and my very dear friend Jagmohan, Lokesh, who's spoken so eloquently and so well that it's difficult to follow him, and Ms. Abha Thapliyal Gandhi. She also brought to us the entire nuance of what a debate should be, of how writing should be. You know, and it's very important that we have so many thoughts that are coming together today. One of the first things is, you know, the significance of writing well, the significance of organizing your thoughts, the ability to speak what you think is right in a manner which does not offend the other person, and you get your point of view across straight to the point. I think that's very important, and especially when we look into the history of the constitution of a country, we find that there were so many people who were contributing to the debate about India, to the debate about India's constitution. And we had such a wide spectrum of people, such a wide spectrum of thoughts. You see, if you look at the Indian National Congress, and when I talk about the Indian National Congress, we're talking about the Indian National Congress till 1947, I mean, till such time as it became a political party which contested for political power in the country. That was the political party which had Acharya Narendra Dev on one hand, it had Acharya Kriplani, it had M.N. Roy, it had Muhammad Ali Jinnah, it had, you know, it had everybody, Madan Mohan Malviya. I mean, you name it and the person was there. And each of those persons was giving a point of view. And that point of view was a very organized point of view. In fact, if one was to read the speeches of the presidents of the Indian National Congress from 1885 to 1947, it's a remarkable, you know, treatise on what can be written and what can be done. In his memoirs, Surendranath Banerjee, who became the president of the Indian National Congress twice, he said that he went to a hill station called Giridih not Giriti, I'm forgetting the name, one of the hill stations, Ranchi perhaps, in Bihar, with a trunk load of books because he wanted to write the presidential address for the Indian National Congress. Now that is how people thought, how people wrote, and how people organized their thoughts. And as we saw in the debate which Lokesh and I and Mr. Gildial and Mr. Girola were there, it was very important to see how the arguments are being structured. Because as Mrs. Gandhi said, it is all right to have a set of arguments, but those set of arguments have to be placed logically. Everything must follow a particular logic. It must follow a particular pattern, because if we do not follow things in a certain pattern, the entire argument will not emerge. The argument will not be able to have the impact that it needs to have. At the end of the day, the purpose for an essay or the purpose for a debate is to convey your point of view across in the most logical manner, in a manner which is pleasing and a manner in which one connects to the other. There are a lot of people who have a lot of ideas, but if those ideas are not put across properly, then the plot is lost. In fact, what is the difference between a great chef and an ordinary cook? I mean, the ingredients are the same. It is the same set of ingredients which makes you a Michelin chef, and the same set of ingredients which makes it very ordinary cooking. The difference between an ordinary dish and a star dish is the way you have curated it. It is not that Shakespeare or Kalidas or Tulsidas ji or Shiv Batalvi or any one of the present authors is using a different set of words. It is the same set of words which come from the same 26 alphabets of the English language, 39, 40 in Hindi, 35 in Punjabi. It is the same set of 26 alphabets which constitute words. And it is the same set of words which is used to define or to explain many things. But some words can explain a thing so beautifully. Some words can, mesmerize you. Some words can bring about the entire pen picture before you. And then there are words which are just a bit of a jumble. The quality of a great essayist, the quality of a great debater, and if I could say the quality of a great lawyer, is to be able to project his arguments in the right manner. When I was hearing Lokesh, I was reminded of the time when one often has to sit in various tribunals and in various fora, where a lot of material comes before you. Sometimes that the person who is speaking is better. I mean, that the case is better on side A. But if the side A has not been able to present all the facts to the presiding officer is bound to go not by what his emotion says, but by what the ratio of the argument says. So, as budding lawyers, as budding students, you must understand that emotion is one aspect. We must be committed to causes, but as important as the commitment to a cause is the logical argument for that cause. It's very important to say that I want to protect and I want to save the environment, but it is equally important to marshal all the facts. And when you begin to marshal facts, then you have to see how do you develop that argument. Are you marshalling facts in terms of the next 2 years or 3 years or 4 years? Are you marshalling facts on the basis of history? How are you marshalling those facts? And in fact, the very first book which led to the environmental revolution, Silent Spring, which a reference to that had been made in the debate also. What was the beauty of that book? The beauty of that book was that rather than say that this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, you have to point out this is bad because of this. So rather than say that, liquor on the highways is bad, if you were to supplement it by saying that these are the number of accidents that have taken place because of this, if one could juxtapose the fallouts of certain implications, then the things. And what happens also is that, Lokesh just made a mention of artificial intelligence and about truth and about post-truth. The point is that these are instruments which are now available to both sides. What I would like to argue is that AI is not available only to one set of people. AI is available to you, AI is available to your opponent. Language is available to you, language is available to your opponent. Therefore, our job is to marshal all the facts all the possible consequences, put them together, and then present our argument. I'm very glad that what Himanshu and the Karmabhoomi Foundation are doing is to stimulate amongst the youth of Uttarakhand, stimulate in the youth of Uttarakhand the same passions which Pandit Bhairav Dutt Thapliyalji had. In my research on Lal Bahadur Shastri, I realized the very creative ways in which they were disseminating revolutionary literature. Who could have thought that revolutionary literature could be packaged within Hanuman Chalisa? So that was the way in which, in order to avoid detection, in order to avoid police surveillance, you bring in your revolutionary material in Hanuman Chalisas. So that, in fact, I'm looking forward to getting a copy of that extent Hanuman Chalisa, if ever. That will be a remarkable case, that will be remarkable. And that is something, which now this generation of students of history have to understand, that we got to acknowledge and understand that this freedom that we have today is not a gift from anyone. Nobody can be gifted freedom. Freedom is something that has to be taken. And once freedom is there, we have to continue with our freedom. And the best way to continue with that freedom is the power of idea, is the power of debate, the power of arguing logically, and the power of conveying what you have to convey in a manner which is also very pleasing. So I'll close by conveying to you something which happened about 4 years ago at the LBS Academy. The young IAS officer who had graduated from Pantnagar University, she said that everything is, I said, how's Pantnagar? She says, everything is fine except that the curfew rules are different for boys and girls. I said, oh, something must be done. She said, you must do something about it. I said, yes, something must be done about it. So I thought, what should be done about it? So one option is to, pick up the phone and tell the Vice Chancellor that, look, this is not fair. You must, you must not do this. Second is you can talk to the district magistrate. You can do many things. But I thought, let's do something different. So I wrote a letter to the Vice Chancellor, which I said that I must thank you and compliment you for the care and concern that you have for the girls on the campus. I'm a bit worried that the same courtesies are not being extended to the boys on the campus, because perhaps they are more vulnerable, likely to have many more accidents, likely to engage in behavior that might land them in greater trouble. Therefore, I would expect that the same courtesies and same concern is extended to the boys in the Pantnagar Agriculture University. The result, as you know, was obvious. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Picking from your speech, thank you for beautifully putting the words together. We are truly mesmerized. And thank you for motivating all of us present here, and especially the young minds. Thank you to all our esteemed speakers for gracing this occasion with their presence. May we please hear it for all of them. Put your hands together. Moving on, I now call upon Captain Himanshu Dhulia to lead the prize distribution ceremony for the second debate and essay competition. He's not here. We'll wait for them. After watching the video, I was really looking forward to listening to all of you, because I had missed that opportunity and it was totally worth it, I must say. May I now invite Captain Himanshu Dhulia to lead the prize distribution ceremony for the second debate and essay competition.
Thank you, Anita. Dr. Sharma, sir, distinguished members of the dais, ladies and gentlemen. This is our second award function, and the basic motive to have a debate and essay competition for the law students was, as I said last year, was that the law students must know how to write and they must know how to speak well. So this was to judge these qualities of a lawyer: to speak well, to put the arguments scientifically, as said by distinguished speakers, and to write, to prepare the case well. So essay was your case preparation. And our foundation's aim is to reach far and wide, because the heart and soul of Uttarakhand rests in hills. So we would like to reach the hills, the nook and corners of Uttarakhand. So this time we had an essay competition in Almora also. We organized an essay competition simultaneously at Doon Library and Sharda Public School, Almora, where the students of Jena University participated. And we are very glad to see that they have bagged few awards. So this was success. I would like to go to Gopeshwar. I wanted to go to Tehri. So this is our attempt, a very small attempt to reach far and wide. Sir, would you like to give award from here only? Yes. So the first award is of the essay competition. Ikneet Singh of Sobhan Singh Jena University gets a gold medal and a cash prize of 25,000 rupees. The silver medal goes to Abhyuday Srivastava of UPS, cash prize of 15,000 and silver medal. The third prize, the bronze medal and cash prize of 10,000, goes to Himani Rawat of Graphic Era Hill University, Dehradun. This time, as an examiner, Mrs. Abha Thaplyal suggested that some of the essays were very good, and there was one essay which deserved a special mention. And this young girl, she wrote it in Hindi as well. This was in Hindi. Unfortunately, she has a competitive exam today in Almora, so she's unable to come. So Divya Bisht has been awarded the special mention. There's a plaque and cash prize of 5,000. I request Ikneet Singh to please accept the award on her behalf. This is a silver plaque. Just show the silver plaque, continue. Yeah. Thank you, Ikneet. Now we come to the debate, and since the trophies are quite heavy, so I'll announce the first prize, and that is the best speaker goes to Abida Ansari, a trophy and a cash prize of 10,000 of Chanakya Law College, Rudrapur. The runners-up trophy goes to Uttaranchal University, Dehradun. They were the winners last year, but this time they are runners-up. Of Abhinav Bansal, cash prize 10,000. Swapnil Srivastav, cash prize 10,000. Total cash prize 20,000. Please come and accept the trophy. You want to get some friends to pick up your trophy? Trophy? Come on, you have to take the trophy. We are not keeping it. Be careful. And you have to give it back after. It's a running trophy. Yeah. Chalo, please help him here. Hello. Come on, friend. Help karo, yeah. Please. Yeah, come on. Good, good. Please help them here. It's a heavy trophy. Thank you. Chalo. Be careful. Yeah. Keep it on the seat behind. Thank you. And the winners, Chanakya Law College, Rudrapur, Abida Ansari, 15,000, Pratham Avasti, 15,000. Please come. Kindly help them also. Let them pick up have the photo with the trophy. Ma'am, you can come, take a photograph. Ayo, please. Let the HOD also be here. Please, faculty. It's a very proud moment for you, ma'am. Please come. Deepshika Joshi. Dipakshi. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So congratulations to all the winners and thank you, Captain Dhulia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to invite our chief guest, Dr. Jagmohan Sharma, a distinguished scholar, administrator, and conservationist, to address the gathering today. Sir is an IFS officer of 1990 batch, hails from Uttarakhand, and Karnataka is his parent cadre. Dr. Sharma's academic journey is nothing short of extraordinary. He holds a Master of Management Studies in Public Policy from IIM Bangalore, a PhD in Climate Change and Forest Vulnerability from the Indian Institute of Science, and an MSc in Forest Ecology and Management from Edinburgh University. In his illustrious career, Dr. Sharma has held several key leadership roles, including serving as the Director General of the Environmental Management and Policy Research Institute in Bangalore. His contributions as Joint Director Wildlife, Joint Director Delhi Zoo, and Assistant Inspector General of Forests EAP during his Government of India deputations have been pivotal. A prolific researcher and thought leader, Dr. Sharma has authored 7 international research papers, 22 national journal articles, and contributed to manuals, reports, policy papers, and book chapters. His areas of specialization include forest and wildlife management, water resources, environmental conservation, ecological economics, and vulnerability and risk mapping for forests. Dr. Sharma's profound insights and vast experience make him a guiding force in the fields of environment conservation and public policy. Currently, he is the director of IGNFA, FRI, Dehradun. Dr. Sharma, your presence here today is truly inspiring, and we are eager to hear your thoughts and words of wisdom. May I kindly invite you to the stage for your address, please.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the introduction. Every time request that the number of degrees may not be read because they possibly do not indicate the value, but only a journey. And oftentimes, when you look back, you find it was not by design. It happened on the way you took options, and it happened. My distinguished panelist on the dais, very, very, very respected, accomplished gathering that I'm here today. Most of them senior to me, and if you look at the spectrum, you find that if Mr. Gildial joined the service in 65, I was born in 65. And if I have joined the service in 90, then most of you were born after 90. So this is a coming together of generations. It's an extraordinary opportunity. It gives us opportunity to reflect on what we are doing. If today you find that these people who, despite their age, despite their all physical abilities and such other things, are still continuing with what they want to do, then they are the leading lights. They are handing over traditions. We find that if my generation had to, if I have not seen country fighting for independence, some of them have seen. And if you have not seen what does it take to stand in a queue in ration shop to collect your monthly rations, and the world is very different now. We have to make sense in this world. On the environmental things, that number of things came out, the question of having a central question that you are addressing, be it essay writing or even in undertaking proceedings in a court, you find focus is very important. Environmental field is gradually developing. We find tussle on all sides. And there are not two sides in case of environment, and most of the social issues for that matter. There are multiple sides. Even if we take example of terrorism that is prevalent globally today, there are reasons which are valid reasons to each of the parties that are party to what is happening in the atmosphere of extreme action that we call terrorism. Environment, similarly, I think it's not okay to not give yourself a chance by taking a position early and then sticking to that position. Because as you get informed of what others have to say, your position evolves. Taking position does not help even in personal lives. At a household level also, if we take position, then there are two parties and there is only conflict. And if none of them tries to make peace or find an overlap, it becomes so very difficult. And it causes a lot of suffering. Because all of us have a world view. 8 billion humans have 8 billion worldviews. And the worldview depends on what your experience is, what your exposure is, and how you think. And if 8 billion people do not try, overlap, match their worldview, then you can see number of conflicts. It will be in billions, and the combination of such billions. So adjustment is very important. Consideration is very important. Accommodation is very important. And that will come when you think. When you think, you give yourself an opportunity as to how go about things. In your life, in your career as the lawyers and professionals at different places, there would be several opportunities where you would need to apply yourself and perhaps change your position. And you would find that as a result of that, the coordination that emerges, the synergy that builds up is so much more helpful. You have not only saved your energy, but the whole system's energy, whole system's times, and all resources. So you are in very interesting times. While this coming here today, attending this function gave me a number of things that I heard from my previous speakers, and I know about the other senior who are here. I find that it's an opportunity also to apply myself as to how to look at everything else in my own worldview and how to adjust that worldview in order to be able to converse with you on the one side, in the sense that people we are handing over to on one side and people who have been emulating all this while on the other. Because everything is changing. The way society lives is changing, right? And in this changing society and ways, when we find we are not finding a path, when we get confused, best is to look at nature. If you want to know when should you sleep, when should you be awake, look at the cycle of nature. That is most robust. It is most stable. We come and go. We change, modify ourselves. We are liked, not liked by people, our own parents and people who are associated with us. Any confusion, look at the nature. Nature stabilizes. Nature is not in a rush. We have put some rush to nature because we are now emitted so much of greenhouse gases that there is climate change occurring, world has become global, there is more energy available for all the process of nature to go. So there is intense rainfall, there are drought periods which are so very difficult, but that's our creation. Now we have to make the adjustment. Economic development, we have had to whatever extent we have had till now. We are trying to build social foundation for our people in terms of education, in terms of health, and the civic amenities that we can. We have now, materially, we are much better than we once were. Now we can reflect on society, we can adjust our development to see that on one hand we are able to lay or firm up our social foundation, and on the other hand, do not let the ecological foundation to erode. Right? All these examples of the highways that we're doing, the dams that we may have done, they have been done and they are being done in a context. And this is a society, there's a decision-making process. There are institutions that adjudicate as to what different peoples are wanting to do and how would they go about it. So this balancing exercise, you as professionals you will have a very important role in this. So we need to make sense at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to be part of this function today. Yesterday night, I have been reading regarding the Dhulia family's contribution, their activities since early 1930s, the sacrifice and the dedication to public service that they had. The Shri Bhairav Dattji, when he started what he did, was in a context. He found that is the need of the hour in such isolated place as Lansdowne and the surrounding areas. If he can take courage to think and organize this community through whatever means he had, including the public newspaper publication, that was a great effort. And after that, if his son for some time had to have a difficult time in terms of not getting even admission in school, was a phase. People who work it's not free of cost for them, but it is very rewarding finally. If we remember him today and we take lessons from what they did, that's the reward for the whole family. I think they are feeling very blessed in this celebration. I congratulate the whole family. I congratulate the effort that they have initiated. The small thing that they started, triggered, say 2 years ago, and they are wanting to build, is a great thing to happen to students in Uttarakhand, to the capability of the state in terms of coming out with institutions. All these universities that we hear about in Uttarakhand are fresh. They're still growing, developing, and you are the people who will make that environment. And these are the efforts that will give boost to all of this, that will infuse energy, make you think, and the outcome is the towering trophies that we have distributed today. They're so inspiring. I wish I were young and competing for one of them. So I think we are absolutely happy. And we feel quite blessed to be part of this foundational program today. And I congratulate you for having won the prizes. Several of you must have tried. All number of other students must have tried. They have done very well. Of them, some had to be kind of rewarded also with the prizes. please understand, when they wrote, they have already gained. This is only extra, right? And this inspires them to work more so that they are more informed, better informed, they try better, and that they pose a fierce competition to anyone who is best among them. And that is the spirit we progress. So with these words, I thank the foundation for holding this function at the premises of IGNFA, this beautiful campus, which we call New Forest, famous as the Forest Research Institute campus, because that is what was initiated first in this campus in year 1922 when the land was bought, and then this building was completed and inaugurated in 1929 by Lord Irving, the Viceroy at that point in time. And now this place, the whole Dehradun itself, is a Makkah for forestry training, education, research, and expert organizations like the Forest Survey of India and the Wildlife Institute of India. So on behalf of all of them, I once again warmly welcome you to the campus. I hope you must have liked the architecture, the grandeur of that. And we are trying that we are able to keep this campus as pious, as education, research, training oriented as possible for us, and government is supporting us. So thank you very much once again for being with us today. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for your thought-provoking words and sensitizing us towards the environment. And also for the youth, sir touched upon a few 21st century skills, which I'm sure will be very beneficial for you all, as that's the way forward now. As we near the conclusion of this wonderful ceremony, I now invite Captain Himanshu Dhulia, Secretary of Karmabhoomi Foundation, Uttarakhand, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Anita. Well, the subject of debate was environment. Not law, but people on ground protect the environment. And we have had a wholesome discourse, wholesome education on this subject. Firstly, the students spoke, and then the distinguished panel gave the opinion. So it's a most comprehensive and most best articulated case this was. I'm so happy and thankful for this. FRI is a place which motivates me. I think it motivates all of you. And it is a great fortune. We are so happy. हमारी खुशकिस्मती है कि हम आज ये कार्यक्रम जो पर्यावरण में है FRI में कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि जो FRI में है वो देहरादून में नहीं है. एक कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है, एक आयरनी है. जिस चीज की हम कल्पना करते हैं हमारे संसार में हो, वो यहाँ बसा है. जन्नत है जब आप एंटर करते हो, सिल्वा ओक के बड़े बड़े पेड़ कई वर्षों पुराने आप देखते हो, तो ये है. तो मैं अपने आप को बहुत खुशकिस्मत समझता हूँ. अभी भी जब मैं देहरादून में था तो FRI के सामने ही मैंने घर लिया, वहीं रहता था. यहाँ वॉक करने आता था, साइकिल चलाने आता था. और जब मैं शुक्रिया तो formally आपको बाद में करूँगा सर. आई एम वेरी वेरी थैंकफुल एंड वी आर सो फॉर्चुनेट दैट वी आर डूइंग दिस स्मॉल सूक्ष्म कार्यक्रम FRI के अंदर. तो क्योंकि ये खास जो हमारा विषय था उस पर था. इतनी बड़ी बड़ी बातें हुई. मैं भी एक बात सब कहना चाहता हूँ कि उत्तराखंड का सबसे बड़ा आंदोलन चिपको था. हाल में ही मैंने शेखर पाठक जी की चिपको आंदोलन पे किताब जो अंग्रेजी में निकली है, जो उसको पुरस्कार भी मिला है, कमला देवी चट्टोपाध्याय, वो अंग्रेजी में पढ़ी. और मैं पूरी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव तरीके से मैंने इस मूवमेंट को जाना. वो एक मूवमेंट था जो कि हमारे डिबेट से बिल्कुल ताल्लुक़ रखता है. लोग एक तरफ थे, उत्तराखंड के लोग, यहाँ के बच्चे, यहाँ की महिलाएं, यहाँ के जवान, यहाँ के बूढ़े, कई वर्षों तक वो मूवमेंट चला और बाकी सब लोग दूसरी तरफ थे. The politician, the government, the bureaucrat, the forest department, the police, the contractor, the industrialist on the other side. ये लड़ाई लंबी चली और सिर्फ एक सेक्टर ने इन्होंने साथ दिया बाहर का था, वो था पत्रकार. The journalists of those times supported that movement. Large number of them. भरत डोगरा साहब यहाँ आए थे, रघुवीर सहाय जो दिनमान में थे वो यहाँ आते थे. तो इससे एक और मैं कह सकती कि हाउ पावरफुल इज द मीडिया एंड हाउ मच डिफरेंस इट कैन मेक. इट मेड अ ट्रेमेंडस डिफरेंस. कई जर्नलिस्ट इफको मूवमेंट में पैदा हुए. ये मैं आपसे कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहता था कि इसको किसी भी विषय को, किसी भी लड़ाई को आगे चलाने के लिए अगर मीडिया चुपचाप बैठा रहता है तो वो लड़ाई मुश्किल होती है जीतना. सबसे पहले मैं सब बच्चों को जिन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट किया, 56 स्टूडेंट्स पार्टिसिपेटेड इन ऐसे कॉम्पिटिशन. विश्वविद्यालय उत्तराखंड के 6-7 लॉ कॉलेजेस ने विश्वविद्यालय में पार्टिसिपेट किया. मैं उनका बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ. उनके प्रोफेसर्स का, HODs का, जब भी मैं उनसे बात करता था उनका रिस्पांस बहुत पॉजिटिव था. Dr. Goyal is here, Deepshika Joshi ji is here, ma'am is there, and thank you very much for being here. And students for actively participating in the debate this year and last year. सबसे पहले क्योंकि आप हमारे नींव हो इस कार्यक्रम के. Distinguished judges, Gildial sir, so thankful to you sir. हम आपको फ़ोन पे बुला लेते हैं और आप आ जाते हैं. Garola sir, last year also you were judge this year. Thank you very much sir for being here. Aba, she has come all the way from Ghaziabad. She wanted to talk to the students, meet the students. Thank you very much for correcting the bus. She took a lot of time because she went about it so diligently. And here the results are with us. Thank you very much. And Dr. Sanjeev Chopra sir, I mean, इनको तो हर एक प्रोग्राम में बुला लेते हैं, फ़ोन करते हैं, आ जाते हैं सर. And enlightening us with this program. डॉक्टर लोकेश औरी से पहली बार मुलाकात हुई और ऐसा लगा हम जानते हैं, हमारे विचार बिल्कुल मिलते हैं. एंड आई एम सो हैप्पी. थैंक यू टू यू. एंड डॉक्टर शर्मा सर, आप ही नहीं, आपका पूरा स्टाफ लगता था हमारा ही स्टाफ है. दे वाज सो पॉजिटिव. जब कल परसों 2 दिन में आया, राणा साहब हुए, आपके केयर टेकर हुए, सब हमसे इस तरीके से बात करते, जो रिस्पॉन्स वाज सो पॉजिटिव. हमको कहीं मुश्किलात का सामना ही नहीं करना पड़ा. वो खुद ही अब सब कर रहे हैं. ये सब कुछ जो आयोजन है ये डॉक्टर शर्मा के आशीर्वाद से. इन्होंने हमें ये हॉल दिया, ठीक है, और अभी लॉन्च दी और खुशी खुशी दिया. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच बीइंग विद अस. मैं अपनी टीम के लोगों का भी शुक्रगुजार करता हूँ. शैलेंद्र शर्मा जी फॉर बीइंग द बैकबोन, राजेश शर्मा जी, अनुराग नौटियाल जो लखनऊ से हैं, जो सब हमारे बैनर्स बनाते हैं, उनका मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने के लिए. एंड विद दीज वर्ड्स मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स और यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हमारा साथ देती रहेंगी और हम नए नए कार्यक्रम आपके सहयोग से करते रहेंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच वंस अगेन सर. एंड आई थैंक कमांडर बर्थवाल सर, नेगी सर, कर्नल कुकरेती, एडमिरल राणा एक फ़ोन पे आ जाते हैं. एंड पांथी जी इज हियर विद अस. ही हैज कम लेट. The distinguished commissioner of Garhwal, the most hands-on commissioner, जो एक कागज के चलते हुए कोई महिला अगर कंप्लेन करती थी अपने जेब से कागज निकाल के ऑर्डर साइन कर देते थे. तो such a pragmatic commissioner he was, and we are so happy that he is a prolific writer, most knowledgeable. Yes. तो हमारी खुशकिस्मती है कि ये हमारे बीच में है. एंड ये अजीत सिंह शांत जी मेरठ से आए. थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू मैम. And please have a cup of tea with us. I mean, small snacks, just opposite. And thank you very much.
You're going to kill me, but I'll say it. Himanshu bhai, your tireless dedication and efforts have been the backbone of this event, I must say. So thank you for sharing your thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Justice Keshav Chandra Dhulia's second debate and essay competition prize ceremony. On behalf of the Karmabhoomi Foundation, I thank you all for your presence and support. Let us continue to nurture young talent and uphold the values that bind us together. Have a wonderful day ahead. I request you all to kindly join us for tea. Thank you very much.
Let's have one photo. आ जाओ sir. Let's have one photograph. आ जाओ sir. Thank you, Anita, my sister. Sorry for taking you for granted. आ जाओ sir. Let's have a photograph.